Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface. It's happened. It was inevitable that this was going to happen, but it's been announced today. Warner Media to let go at least 800 at Warner Brothers, HBO, Variety, and DC Comics. We've been speaking about DC Comics over the course of the last couple of days. Don't worry, we'll get into that. And it's time for people to really start to worry. When the COVID virus hit, DC Comics was desperate to get out of this Diamond distribution contract that they had. Diamond went under, essentially under, after a week and a half of COVID. They had no cash flow. They couldn't distribute comics. DC needed to get product on the shelves wherever they could, because they knew that their jobs were under threat. They knew that when AT&T had taken over the company, stuff wasn't gonna fly that's been flying before, and it looks like those chickens have come home to roost. So what did they do? They went out, they got themselves some more distributors to push their comics around the country, got rid of Diamond. I keep getting Diamond and Dynamite confused because I haven't seen a couple of double D's in the comic industry for years. Bum bum. Tiss. So, even though it doesn't mention the DC layoffs here, they are mentioned here on Bleeding Cool, with Ethan chiming in saying this is going to be a bloodbath. I told you guys this was going to happen. AT&T is going to ultimately end the comic book publishing line. They only care about the streaming platform they're building. And Bleeding Cool have announced that DC Comics have been made aware of layoffs at the company, and they will be in effect for December. That's when they will ultimately lose their positions. So let's just have a look. I'm looking at the March sales figures, which were essentially the last major month for comic book sales before the COVID virus hit. And if you look at the DC line, it's in massive trouble in terms of what is selling and what isn't selling. Batman is propping it up with a increase in sales thanks to James Tynion IV taking over from Tom King, who had caused Batman to go into a tremendous slump. Now, I've got to say, I have actually been reading, but even though I am finishing at Batman 100, I have been reading James Tynion stuff since he took over, and it's actually so much better than Tom King, but it's not enough for me to really stay on and support this company, because DC don't give a shit about their customer base. The Flash is only up there because it was issue 750, which is an anniversary issue. You got to then go down to another anniversary issue, one-off, a number one, from Tom King, no less, a out-of-universe miniseries sequel, an out-of-universe miniseries sequel, and then you've got to go down to number 32 to get to Detective Comics, which is Batman's second book. So Batman is the major hero that's propping up the DC line, but to see Detective Comics selling 42,000 is absolutely despicable. Oh, by the way, where's Superman? Oh, well, he's got to go right down here to number 40 with only 37,000. And dare I even look where Action Comics is? Oh, I don't really want to know. I think it's only going to be depressing. But these are the floppies. These are the monthly comics which are meant to keep your company going. Not the little one-shots that will give you a little bit of a boost every so often, or the mini-series that will give you a little boost. It's your ongoing line, and it's simply not performing. Tom King dragged Batman down. He should have been out ages ago when they saw a huge downturn in sales from him with his complete cucking of Batman. And Superman, why is Superman down there? Brian Michael Bendis destroyed the character since he came. What's Brian Michael Bendis going to do now? Oh, he's announced he's moving on. Fuck it all, eh? Let's come into DC, fuck up Superman, and then I'm off now. Bye! Great stuff. And of course, over the last couple of days, we've had to deal with this shite. This utter disgusting filth from... No, look, I know that you can say art is subjective, and I said this yesterday, right? But I've looked at this artist stuff. Personally, I think it's shit. You know, I think there's a massive push of this Tumblr-esque sort of style of art, and it's just lazy and crap. I don't find it particularly of any worth whatsoever. And if you're asked to do a Wonder Woman variant cover, and this is what you come back with, let me just raise it. This is what you come back with. Yeah. It's an absolute mess. And where was the editor to say, look, this is an Amazonian princess, our top female character. Can we not have her looking like she's just been dragged out by her hair from a fucking Walmart? You know, after being caught in the cake stand devouring everything. But no. But the artist that did that has actually replied to the massive amounts of criticism that it's received. And when you read her reply, you have no sympathy for DC whatsoever, because she don't give two shits. So, due to the subject matter of my art, I'm often asked to draw characters inspired by iconic women. Recently, I was asked to create a piece inspired by Wonder Woman. Inspired. That's an inspiration? Fucking whatever. In my own style for an upcoming one-off artist collab. I love drawing aliens with realistic body types. Remember that, because she contradicts herself later on. Living their lives comfortable with themselves. So I drew an alien character with a realistic body. Remember that, because she's going to contradict herself. Wearing a more everyday version of the Wonder Woman outfit. DC decided they want to use this piece for a variant cover. That's DC's fault. That is DC's fault. If I'd seen that, I would have told her to go away, come back with something a little bit more representative of Wonder Woman, please. DC decided they wanted to use this piece for a variant cover in addition to the collab. I didn't realise that featuring Wonder Woman, a Wonder Woman-inspired character with a realistic body type, remember that, she's going to contradict herself later, would be controversial. Apparently it is. The DC Nation posted their cover on Twitter, and it was immediately met with hundreds of comments hating on her body. What did you expect? As well as the non-traditional art style and on me personally. I never had a go at you personally, but I think your art style's awful. I don't like it myself, but it's subjective, and I'm allowed to have that subjective opinion, and I think your interpretation is dog shit. And I think you know it as well. I think one of the reasons I was asked to do this is that I'm not a traditional comic book artist, so I would present something from a different perspective. The fact that it was so controversial just makes me want to draw diverse body types. Wait a minute, you said realistic 3 fucking times in your first paragraph, and now you're saying that it's a diverse body type, not a realistic body type. Contradiction. There we go. This person don't give two shites. And create more art that people can hopefully see themselves in. The only thing that people can see themselves in with that art is some 5XL t-shirts and jogging pants. That's all I'm going to say about that. So that's DC's fault. While they're playing stupid fucking games like this, AT&T are saying, where is the money? Where's the cash? Where's the moolah? Where's the dollar? Oh, I'm sorry. We're too busy pissing about with identity politics. We're too busy letting sales get into the fucking gutter. Because we don't care. We don't give a shit. And when you come across as not giving a shit, and when your sales are like this, guess what? You're gonna get losses. Now, what happens to DC? Who knows? We know that the DC Universe streaming service is most likely going to get absorbed into the AT&T streaming service. That just seems, well, almost a shoo-in now. We are seeing that certain DC Universe shows are now being shifted to other channels like the CW, Stargirl getting off there. And we also know, of course, Swamp Thing only lasted 1 season. That's going to be shown at some time on the CW as well. But what we're going to see in terms of DC and their comics, I mean, depending on how much staff they lose, depending on what they're actually going to do with the restructuring, possibly, are we going to see the end of the traditional floppy? Like maybe Ethan thinks so. Are we going to see something akin to more of a quarterly, or, as we can see here, the selling features out of universe miniseries, just using the characters? Or are AT&T or Warner Brothers simply going to say, screw DC, let's shut it down, let's license out the characters to elsewhere. Let's give other people a shot and close down this wing. This wing that has just been abusing itself for the last few years. Seeing the mistakes that Marvel are making and going, hey, let's copy those. We too want to be in the dog shit house as well. I can't have any sympathy for them whatsoever. I have sympathy for people who are working everyday jobs in an office, you know, payroll, who are working in the print houses and stuff like that. Those are the people that I truly and legitimately feel sorry for. But the artists and the writers and the editors and the people who are just not giving a shit, who are spending most of their time on Twitter berating customers, who are telling us what we should be liking as opposed to what we want and what we have been liking before, they can all go to hell as far as I'm concerned. Don't give a single flying fuck. So, as the Joker said, you get what you fucking deserve. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and YouTube for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.